final guest on this star-studded afternoon show, is on stage in the South in November, but he's here live right in front of me right now. Welcome along, Rhydian.
Katie, it's a pleasure to be here.
What brings you to the South today?
Well, your good self.
I do not believe you.
It's true.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm a married lady now, I'm sorry.
Oh, well, yes, I know that. Many congratulations.
Missed the boat.
And I heard you went to Paris for your honeymoon.
It was lovely.
Which is a beautiful city. No, I'm here because I'm doing my promotion for my new album, which is out on Monday.
Now, I said earlier on that it seems as though since the X Factor, you just have not looked back. You've done loads since the X Factor.
Yes, I've enjoyed my career so far. 7 years ago now that I was on that show, 2007.
It's flown by.
Yeah, it really has. But this is my fifth album. So I up until about 2 years ago, I was doing an album every year. But then I took a break for 2 years to do theatre, and I was in 4 musical theatre shows, including Rocky Horror, We Will Rock You,
War of the
Worlds, and Grease. I came to the Mayflower with We Will Rock You, which was great. You know, it was the only time that I've had a cancellation. We were ready to go on, and the Mayflower, this is obviously unusual for the Mayflower, it was the first time it's happened there, I think. There's a complete power cut, and usually they get the power back on. But they said, we were waiting for about 40 minutes, and they said, we're going to have to send you all home.
Was it a bank holiday or something like that?
It was.
I seem to remember the story.
It was a really busy night, and yeah, it was. I mean, it's funny because some of the cast were disappointed, but a few of them were like, "Phew, a night off," you know, because 8 shows a week is quite tiring.
It must be really strange though, because your adrenaline is obviously naturally rising up to a certain level to be able to go out and deliver a performance that is. I mean, professional theatre is exactly the same every single night, isn't it? The energy, the performance, right. the amount of oomph you give it is the same every night. So how do you then go, this must be quite a quick come down from getting yourself up to that level to go on to be ready to perform? Absolutely,
yeah. I think it's even harder for the dancers who've been stretching and warming up and stuff. I mean, in that show, I think I came on not right at the start, so I was okay, but the guys who were going to go on, I heard them warming up and everything, and then they went, lights are off, we're not going on. So yeah, but it's part and parcel of live theatre, you know, and I personally love the fact that theatre is the same every night. I'm quite methodical, and I like structure, and I'll always, I hope anyway, if the cast and directors choose me, will want to do theatre the older I get, because more roles become available, and it's my passion. I mean, after music school, I was at musical for 5 years, studying vocal studies and opera. I went to the Royal Academy in London to do a musical theatre designated course with Mary Hammond. But of course, I went into the X Factor instead of doing that course.
But I suppose having all of those places, all of those schools, all of those qualifications on your CV, then when you do go to an audition, you've got that there to back it up, to say, well, look, I went to the same places that these people went to.
Yeah, it does help. And I'm quite big on that, because I don't want to just be seen as, you're on the telly, so you get the role because you're on X Factor. I know a lot of people have roles in the West End because they've been off the telly, but I'd like to think that I've had the training, and I continue to have the training in acting and singing. And, you know, I wouldn't want to take a role away from somebody who's more talented. I think you get the role on merit, and especially now, 6 or 7 years after that, I'd like to think that I am getting chosen. Yeah. Because the producers, cast and directors see potential or talent, you know. But for the past 10 months, it's all been about recording my album.
And how do you view that time in the studio then? And how does it compare to life on the road, touring with a production, doing the same thing every day with the same people? Does it feel like when prisoners are released and they can just do whatever they want, and you think, I'm going into freefall?
No, to the contrary. It's kind of there's so many variables when you're making an album, and I've had full control over this record. So choosing the songs, choosing the title, what I wear, who's going to take the shots, who's going to record it, which orchestra. We use a brilliant orchestra, Orchestra St. John's, on this album. Fantastic London-based orchestra. And I even had to say which collaborations I was going to have on the album, who I was going to sing and duet with. And I love singing duets. So I sent a demo to Bonnie Tyler.
Wow.
Yeah, because I wanted to fuse the classical voice with the rock husk. And she actually rang me and from her Portugal home and said, Rhydian, I love it. I absolutely love it. I want to do it.
I love your Bonnie Tyler impression.
I was like, that's such good news. You know, it could have gone it could have gone either way. I was expecting to say, I'm too busy. But she said yes, and I'm really delighted with the results. She sings a fantastic duet called Miserere on this album, and also I have a duet with Kerry Ellis. I wanted to keep that connection with the West End Broadway, and for me, she's probably the leading lady in the West End at the moment, and does a lot with Brian May, who I've worked with. So we do a duet called Vivo per lei on the album. And then, so I've really enjoyed it, but now is crunch time, because we're releasing on the 14th, which is Monday. Less than 6 days now. It's exciting, nerve-wracking, but I'm really committed to this album because it's definitely my best. And from Sunday, there's going to be loads of TV adverts and stuff. So, no going back now.
Well, let's have a little listen to the title track, and then you can tell us, after we've had a listen, why you chose this song in particular. It's certainly one that you will recognise.